What is going on, YouTube? Back at it again with another video for you. I'm wearing my taco tank top, and I think it has gotten to the point now that it is too small. So I will have to try to find another tank top with tacos on it. Joining us today, we got my cat, Boy. He's a little old man. He's like 15. So today I want to talk to you about AA and why it doesn't really work for me. Hold on, let me grab a light. There we go. It's kind of dark. So let me preface this by saying this. If you are in a treatment program or you're doing a 12-step program and it's working for you, this video is not for you. I'm not trying to get you to stop doing a treatment program that works for you. If you have found a method of sobriety that you enjoy and that gives you happiness and freedom within your life, that's all that matters. In no way am I trying to get you to stop doing that. So please know that going into it. This is just why AA does not work for me. This is why AA didn't feel appealing to me. And this is just what I, disagree with about AA. At the core of any of this, I feel like whether you are an active alcoholic or you are in recovery and you're doing a program, I feel in a massive way the focal point of your life is still the addiction, right? So if you're actively drinking, alcohol is the focal point of your life. So when you stop drinking, sobriety becomes the focal point of your life. And with the way I've been able to get sober, I've kind of and this is all, a learning process for me too, but what I feel like has worked is that I basically give myself 12 months to talk as much about, me being an alcoholic as I want, and if it comes up in conversation, or maybe it doesn't, and you kind of talk about it, you have that year to really get that out of your system and not have anyone really tell you any shit about it, because that's a really important time in your life where you're trying to kind of allow this new part of yourself to really ingrain into who you are. Past that year point, though, I think that's when the training wheel should fall off, roughly right around then. I feel like 12 months is a really good time frame, though. And after that, that's when it kind of becomes something that gets pushed off to the side, and then you continue to do other things, and it becomes more of a footnote in your life. And in that way, I believe that method is much more liberating, as opposed to continually doing meetings for foreseeably the rest of your life. I'm not coming from a complete lack of knowledge or ignorance. I've done over 50 AAs, most of them court appointed, but I still went, and I wasn't completely resistant the entire time I was there. I think the reasons why AA didn't really work for me is, one, I'm not religious, and whether or not people say that it is or is not, if you've attended them, at the very minimum, they have an extremely religious overtone. And as someone who is not religious, you find it uncomfortable, to put it nicely. So there's that aspect. But even if I was in a group, because people have said, well, there's groups that don't have any religion aspect to it at all. There's just kind of this punk rock group of AA people down in the Bay, and that's all well and good if that works for you. But what also doesn't work for me, which a big part of it is that I don't like group therapy. I don't heal in a group setting. And I don't know why. I didn't choose that part about my brain or about my personality. I just don't feel comfortable in group settings when it comes to healing or sharing in that aspect. I'm very individual. I like to talk one-on-one. And it's funny because on a personal level, I'm a social butterfly and I love large groups and stuff, but the idea of meeting and coming together as a collective group and sharing, I don't know why. It's not my style, And I think that should be okay. I've gotten a lot of flack from people that are in AA, and they're just well, you're just being judgmental, or, you're just being too harsh, or, you're not giving it a chance. And I have given it a chance. This is how I found out that I didn't like it. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's what works for me and what I like doing, you know? And I just wanted to stop drinking, and I wanted my life to get better. And so that's what I did, you know? And I didn't like the idea of meeting with a group of people. And also, to take that a step further, in a lot of those AAs, yeah, we might have all been alcoholics, but I didn't like a lot of those people. And if you don't mesh with some of the people in the room, you know, I mean, you can go to another meeting, but chances are there might be similar people at those meetings, you know, and it's like anything in life, you know, you can't pick everyone that goes to something, you know, there's probably a bunch of people in the movies that you go to see that you wouldn't get along with, but the difference is here is you have to interact with them in that setting. So that didn't really work for me, you know, and so then you're left with like, well, I don't want to do a 12-step, I'm not religious, and I don't like group therapy. Well, what the fuck is left, you know? That's why when the idea of just doing it yourself and kind of betting on yourself and being extremely honest with yourself and everyone else around you, when that kind of comes up, you're like, oh, I didn't even really realize that that was an option, you know, because you just think something is wrong with me. I must seek treatment. I must seek help. That's kind of like how we live in Western society. If something ails us, we look for something else to fix it, you know? So if we're sick, we need medicine. And if we're injured, we need to bandage it and wrap it. And there's a lot of merit to that. I'm not saying that, you know, you shouldn't take medicine when you're sick or anything like that. But there are things that we can heal internally, you know. And I'm a good example of that. And I just feel like like there wasn't really anything for me there, you know. And that for people like me especially, you know. And I think with a lot of people, especially in the beginning, when you decide you're not drinking anymore and you've accepted the fact that you're an alcoholic, some people might be really sensitive and kind of get, you know, not want to be in a group setting and constantly talking about that. Some people want to do it on their own. And that's where it's like you have to be extremely honest and real with yourself for this personal method to work. You can't say, oh, I'm going to do it by myself and then be secretly drinking. That defeats the whole purpose of any of this, you know. And don't get me wrong, I understand the ideas of AA and how they work. You know, you have a fellowship of people that you can always fall back on. You have support from others. But for whatever reason, that doesn't mesh with me. Like with how I feel, you know. And they say a lot in the meetings, you know, keep coming back, it works. But then they also let you know that it's okay to relapse. So for me, that's kind of a contradiction as well. And I'd even make the argument that I feel like some people kind of get really wrapped up in almost the romanticism of that new life of I have this group of people, and even if I do mess up, I can always fall back onto them and they will embrace me with open arms. And it's kind of this like in and out kind of ebb and flow thing that they can do. And so they know like in a weird way they can drink if they really need to, but then they can always, you know, start over again kind of a thing. And I'm just not that way. If I were to drink again, you know, it wouldn't just be like, oh, I'll be back here next week. I mean, then I would go on a long bender and yada, yada, yada. And like I said, if you're in AA and you're doing it happily and that works for you, that's amazing. And I'm happy for you. I am not necessarily talking to you then. What I'm talking to are the groups of people that were in my position that felt like they didn't really have an alternative, you know? So I met this guy a little while ago, and he was really kind of like hell-bent on trying to get me to see, you know, the error in my thinking when looking at AA. And I finally got to the point where I was a little frustrated, and I said, why is it so important to you that I'm sober your way? Because I'm approaching 2 years sober, I'm happily sober, and I actually don't suffer from urges to drink at all anymore. So why is it important for me to not only see your side of it, but he was trying to get me to go join meetings. And he was like, I just feel like your quality of life would be greater than it is right now. And here I'm telling this person, I'm in love with my life. I have a lot of self-love for who I am. I'm sharing that love with other people, and I'm trying to help others, and I've received a myriad of messages from people that follow my channel on YouTube and emails, people that follow my Instagram, my Facebook, that through my videos, they've been able to see some sense in their pathology with their drinking. And that, to me, is a success in and of itself. Even if I only help one person with these videos, I help that person. And that's all that matters to me. So that exchange that I had with that individual came across as a little bit cultish, where I was just like, it felt that all he wanted to do was convert me into doing it his way. And I've said in other videos, I don't like the idea of having to go to meetings all the time too. I'm a busy person. I work 2 jobs. I host a really amazing trivia. We're doing an all Harry Potter trivia March 13th. And there's already too many people responding to it on Facebook. So it's going to be a madhouse. And I'm trying to write this book as well. I just got a huge PR, a personal record in my weightlifting career. I bench press 400 pounds for a single, and I'm at 215 pounds body weight. And so maybe I'll make a video where I share that as well, because that was a massive milestone for me. My gym actually found the video and shared it on Facebook, which was kind of cool. But ultimately, those are just some of the main factors why AA doesn't work for me. To kind of summarize that, I'm not religious, and there's kind of heavy religious overtones there, at least in my personal experience from what I've gone to, and I've gone to over 50. I don't enjoy group therapy. I really don't. I'd rather heal on my own. It's kind of a more personal and individual thing. But I still like to communicate on a broader scale, but the idea of going and healing in a group, especially with people that I don't necessarily get along with, is not appealing to me. I don't like the idea of consistently going to meetings or having sobriety or alcoholism be the focal point of my day-to-day life, or even my weekly life or monthly life. I think it should be something that is just part of the tapestry of who you are, and you continue to do whatever, and that's just kind of a footnote. And ultimately, I found a way that works for me, and I think that there are a lot of like-minded people that this will work for as well. So I just wanted to kind of share my thoughts and opinions on all of that with you guys, because I've gotten a couple responses. At the end of the day, whatever works for you is the best method. Whatever the best method of sobriety is the one that works for you. It's like what's the best workout? What's the best diet? Those are the ones that you'll stick to and that you like doing. That's all it is. Life is completely subjective to your personal experience. So whatever works for you is the best for you. This is the best for me. These are my thoughts and opinions. It doesn't necessarily mean they're right, and it doesn't necessarily mean they're wrong. This is just how I feel, and I'm just sharing it with you guys. So if any of that resonates with you and it helps you kind of achieve your goal, then that's all that really matters, and that's all I'm making these videos for. Like always, you guys, I hope you're all doing great. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Like, share, subscribe. I'm almost at 200 followers, which in the YouTube world is probably very small, but to me, it's a big personal achievement. So I sincerely appreciate it, you guys, and let me know if there's a video you would like to see me make in the future. Other than that, I will see y'all next time. Thanks for watching, you guys.